Hi, this is Ronald Johnson, your life coach, mentor coach, and what I do is I help people that are tired of who they are and where they are in life.
And this is Gloria, your life coach. I help those who are feeling stuck, struggling with difficulties such as self-doubt, inner judgment, lack of confidence, life transitions, and taking steps forward.
And welcome to Life's a Shuffle podcast. Now, you may wonder why it's called Life's a Shuffle, and the reason why we came up with this title is that life is really shuffling. It doesn't matter where you come from, your background, what age you are, you're shuffling multiple things in life. And the best thing to know in life is everybody faces your struggles and everybody faces what you're going through. But there's hope in learning something about that. So when our guests share their journey, the hope is you learn something in that journey so yourself can navigate the struggles you face, the low self-esteem, the self-confidence, and that's why we call podcast Life's a Shuffle.
And throughout this podcast, we share our personal overcoming stories, as well as our guests who shares their personal journey in overcoming their personal struggles. Life's a Shuffle podcast is here to connect like-minded individuals.
And thank you for listening to Life's a Shuffle podcast.
Hi, this is Gloria, your life coach. Welcome to another episode of Life's a Shuffle.
Hi, this is Ronald Johnson. Welcome to another episode of Life's a Shuffle. This is your life coach, leadership coach, and motivational speaker. So today, as usual, actually, that's not usual. Usual it is Freestyle Thursday, but sometimes it's not on a Thursday because that's just we like the freestyle things. But today is Christmas Eve, and things are certainly different than they have been the last year. I mean, this time last year, I was in Fairbanks, Alaska, and enjoying Northern Lights. It was like negative 15 degrees outside Fahrenheit, negative 15 degrees and negative 25. I think the coldest day was negative 35 degrees. That is bone chilling cold. But this time it's different. I mean, a lot of us are at home. We're not traveling. If we are, maybe we're in small groups from household to household. I'm in Washington for sure, those that don't know it already. And I'm looking outside my window and you know what? We might have a white Christmas because we're covered in snow. And it's been so cold here lately, down cold meaning that's between 27 and 32 degrees, that the snow just freezes as ice. So look at my window and I'm seeing all the snow. And I'm just how lovely the fresh air it is. Sun just came up. Sunrise is at 8 o'clock around here. So it's pretty late and goes down about 4:15. But I really have to consider this. I'm really humbled and thankful for everybody and this year and God and the faith I have. Gloria and I just completed our virtual summit yesterday, which was, she came up with a great, I never thought about a summit. So she came up with a great idea about having a virtual summit. So having our minds collaborate together, creating this summit and learning what we're doing and the people that are joining and the information we're getting is abundant and it can go with us for a lifetime. I so happily when the protests were happening and people were breaking into Best Buy and Walmart and Target, whatever it was they were doing, I said to myself, damn, if people actually robbed a Harvard University or robbed a Barnes and Nobles or robbed a Borders bookstore, I'm quite sure they would not rob again because they'll figure out that, dang, I got a lot of knowledge here. I don't need to rob anymore because I'm going to take care of myself. So I'm thankful for the fact that I'm on the right path. Gloria and I are doing some big things this year. We're going to start our own website, www.lifesashuffle.com. Not lunch yet, so don't type it in looking for it. It doesn't exist. But one thing came to mind that happened just 2 days ago. We all go through some different things in life, and we usually turn to our family members and trying to navigate our life and navigate what we want to do. So to make it short is, I don't always, why do we always say make it short? Just tell the damn story. So I'm going to just tell your story. Okay?
Your short stories end up being long. It's just
I have no idea why that mindset is, oh, I'm going to tell you a short story. Or, have you heard, let me be honest with you. So you always lie all the time. Let me tell you the truth. So you always don't tell the truth. So story goes like this. So my niece was supposed to go to my mom this past Sunday, a couple of days ago. And stay there because my sister's looking for a new job, and we go into transition, you're a single parent, you can't really rely on anybody but yourself. And sometimes the other parent is not present. That's just kind of what happens in some situations. So supposed to go to my mom, and obviously COVID's going up. You know, my sister lives in Chicago, my mom lives in Arizona, so my niece about to travel from Chicago to Arizona. That's all I know. All I know is this: is the plans were canceled last minute. Whatever last minute is, I don't know. I wasn't part of the conversation. I'm hearing everything third and fourth party. Okay, so my niece was to go to my mom, and my sister's very frustrated because my sister needed that wiggle room to navigate some things she's trying to get done. Right? She wanted to make sure her child has stability. It's okay. She's going to my mom's house. She can still continue with school. She'll be there for a couple of weeks. She can still do a program because we're trying to move not just around the state, but out of state. You're trying to find a job anywhere, right? I mean, my sister actually may find a job in Bethel, Alaska. I've never been there, but that's pretty far up. I mean, from Chicago. So plans got canceled. My sister was very upset. And I talked to my sister on Sunday when it all happened. I texted, hey, look, I heard what happened. And, she actually called me and she gets venting to me. And I can, a lot of times we have a shared belief system. And we might share a belief system is that she was saying some things that I resonate with. So subconsciously, I was taking my sister's side. And the reason I'm going to say that is that a couple of days later, my mom calls me because I haven't heard the story from my mom. Then I text my sister. Then my mom called me a couple of days later. And then obviously, I want to get to the point. Hey, look, my sister, I said, she's kind of upset about what happened. And I was just my mom's side of the story. And I try to explain my sister's side of the story. And then my mom says, well, what about me? And she obviously got frustrated, hung up the phone, not in my face, but hung it up. I said, damn, I think about this. I had a shared belief system. I'm not saying my sister was right or wrong. I'm saying my belief was shared with her because I believe what she's going through and it resonated with me. So I didn't think about my mom. I just automatically resonate with that, what my sister was saying. So today, after our podcast, I'm on my way to DMV because I got to get a DMV. I got to get a new driver's license from Washington. I'm going to call my mom and say, look, you know what? I did something that I don't like to do. I don't like to take sides in the story because when I take sides, I'm believing one and not the other, and I wasn't there. I wasn't there what happened. I wasn't there what was said. I'm just here everything third and fourth party. I mean, by fourth party means that when you go through a situation, you explain it one way, the way you interpret it, but maybe another way it was interpreted another way. So you kind of have a story, but you summarize the story. Like right now, I'm summarizing a story. That's why I said short story. That was said, but I'm gonna call and apologize because damn, I should never done that. I should never ever taken sides because I raised the high with something else. Can can I kind of feel the pain because I went through the same frustrations my sister going through? Yes, but remember the pain is different. It's a different time. I wasn't there. It's two different people. I'm in the middle. I don't want to be in the middle. So I'm calling mom and apologize that I did not see her point of view or at least listen to it. I automatically took one side. Even though I didn't say it, I did it. So regardless of what I said, my language didn't say specifically I'm taking my sister's side. Specifically, is just where I was talking was I resonate with a side more than others. So if you guys, excuse me, are out there, I had to burp, sorry, out there and you know, hearing stories, check your ego and I would that's a different story, but check what you're resonating with. What are you really believing without hearing the other person's side of the story? Because then we have a shared belief system, just like religion, just like school, just like jobs. We get shared belief systems, and that's really what happens. And so I'm gonna apologize because that's not something I want to do with my life. Now, if it was 10 to 15 years ago when I didn't have this awareness and didn't have these breakthroughs, of course I would take one side. I'm gonna take one side because I'm going to. And that's how we do it as human beings. We always want to take one side that resonates higher with us, that we feel it more, right? That's that emotional energy, but that's not what I want to do going forward. So that's my quick story. What about yourself, Gloria?
Right. So you only heard one side of the story. You resonated with the story or your sister's story. So you kind of got heated for a minute because you kind of brought back memories when you were younger, but you didn't hear your mom's side. And they say there's always two sides to the story, and you don't know where your mom's coming from, also. And
I heard a
it's
story from,
oh, go ahead.
well, first I heard a story from my mom, then I heard from
Right.
my sister, then I heard from my mom again.
Yeah.
And by the time that third time,
Yeah.
by the time I heard the first time, I was already taking a side
Yeah.
because
So your mind was already
I,
set.
it was already
That's what it
set.
was, right?
Then when I heard my sister, then it was definite.
Yeah.
And then when I talked to my mom again, then I told my point of view, and that's where I feel I was wrong, and I it didn't shouldn't done something I should have done.
Sometimes what if your mom wasn't really, what if she can't really explain herself very well? Whatever it was and whatever she was feeling or whatever her reasons was, it's definitely coming from somewhere. And you can and I feel for your sister as well. I can understand and totally understand the frustration because I would be frustrated too. But at the same time, your mom is her own person as well.
Hmm. Hmm. And with that, there obviously is some fears too, right? I mean, my mom
Hmm.
doesn't want to get sick. She's worried about my niece getting sick.
It's understandable, especially with a lot of older people right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what I looked at it is that regardless of what's happening, we got is family member. All we got is family,
Right.
right? And when I mean my family, it's really when it comes down to it's just myself, my sister, my mom. My dad passed away. Sometimes you're not that close to relatives like cousins, aunties, uncles. Something it just ain't that close, right? So you got the immediate family to depend upon, and when you're in a situation like you're in a rock and a hard place, you need one way out, and the way out was my sister needs to go there to help let my sister make some moves, and when that falls through, you have to readjust,
Right.
and that's where I was like, damn, you should have came through. I'll be honest, you should have came through, COVID or not, you should have came through
Yeah, that's
because
hard.
at that point, but there's a lot more. The reality is in this situation, it's not what happened. All right. It's not the fact my niece didn't go there. My mom said no, whatever. What really would happen is there is pain there
Hmm.
and wounds that are there. See, the idea is, let me go a little deeper, is when I was growing up as a kid, so was my sister, my mom was not there as we expected her to be.
Hmm.
She always chose men or things she wanted to do in life over us. So now what happens, that little kid, even though
Hmm.
you're an adult, but that little kid scenario is still in your mind, like, damn, weren't there for me. That really is the emotional side of the matter. So old wounds got festered a little bit, and they came up. And that was no, you weren't there for me. So
Yeah,
here it is again. You're not there for me again. So when will you be there for me, or I can't rely on you? That's the deeper
that's
level of
pretty
that
much it.
situation.
Yeah. So like I said, it just kind of brought back some old memories for you, and that came up. Um, yeah, that's what it is. And well, I hope you resolve that, and I'm sure it'll mean a lot to her if you apologize. They're only here for a certain amount of time, and yeah, let's make it better.
You know what? It's not. So that's why I want to live my life. So part of this is not only just healing the situation, but healing myself.
I think if you do, like, if you go back to her and apologize and just kind of, apologize for whatever you said and however you felt that moment and just explain it to her why you were that way, y- that is healing for you.
Hmm.
That will make you feel so much better. And, she'll understand it. And you just tell her the truth.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak my mind. Just I apologize. I didn't look at both sides of the coin,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not who I'm gonna be. I'm quite sure you have some hesitation, and you have your reasons, and my sister has her reasons, but I should never take sides.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, I'm over here still sipping on my coffee, but it's
My
so
coffee's
good.
cold.
mine,
You
mine
know,
is already cold too, but I'm still sipping it. It's so good.
what we
Uh,
need to do is we got to go to this website called www.ember, so ember.com. So if you have a Yeti cup or a coffee mug you have home, those porcelain ones. So what
mm-hmm.
this company does, they through technology and how they've done it, it keeps it warm. So you download this app on your phone, be it you buy a full-on mug or you buy one of those small 10 to 12 ounce coffee cups, but you can put temperature on your phone and your coffee cup will stay warm. So how
Interesting.
over time, yeah. So like I'm sick and tired of you buy the Yeti cup, you're like, cool, it only stays warm for maybe an hour or two, and then it starts getting cold. And cold coffee sucks. This stuff keeps it warm, but it's like for a mug, it's like a buck, so 179, and for a coffee cup or a rare size, 10, 12 ounces, like a $100. But if you're tired of cold coffee, that's the way to go. So we should invest in one of those.
Hmm.
With that
I know.
being said.
I keep sipping it even if it's cold because it's just so good. I found this. I don't do dairy, right? So I found a non-dairy creamer that's pumpkin spice. I thought I'd put some spice in it, like the holiday
I
spice.
love it.
So I found that I was like, ah, this is so delicious, even with no sugar and it's non-dairy. I could still taste the pumpkin. It still reminds me of the Starbucks pumpkin spice latte that they have right now, but it's my own kind. It's just it's cold. I'm sipping through it. So, anyways,
Hmm.
I this week I have nothing but feeling grateful. Like abundance, right? Like what you were saying earlier. I think we were really looking forward to our 3-day summit, and we've prepared well for it. I couldn't thank everybody that participated enough, and for their support. And even those who I didn't think would come through or, would even come was there. And I really want to give a big shout out to our guest who was all the way from Japan because I thought that was one of the biggest thing. That was unexpected for me. Um, Thank you for your support. And just being engaged, even engage with us, right? And
Hmm.
another wonderful thing about virtual is that, again, anybody from anywhere can join. And not only were we hosting this summit, we were also a student. I think I've learned not only were we giving tips, but I was also learning at the same time. And I think you and I have learned a lot during this 3-day summit. It was, I was overwhelmed with gratitude. I never would have thought that we even would have made this happen. I just remember we were talking about it. Let's try this. And we made it happen. Um, More than, what I expected. So I'm very, very grateful for, and I am looking forward to more. So we have a lot more things coming up that we've been working on. I'm excited about that. And what did you call again the new year? Step up.
So for me, every year I have a way of looking at the year. It's one of those things where I don't say, okay, this year I'm going to do this year I'm going to do that. And I'm starting to get more and more away from all those mindsets of, oh, this is the year, so I do this, I want to do that. You could do anything you want. So I kind of get my life set up mentally for different things. And since I quit my full-time job almost 4 years ago, would be like 2 months. I mean, literally 4 years ago. So like the first year of 2017, when I really took that risk and quit, I put trying to survive, right? That's kind of where I was mentally, just trying to get clients, trying to survive. Second year was thriving. So after you get experience, after 1 year, now you have more experience. Now you know how to navigate things better, know when to set your boundaries and all that great stuff. And then came 2019, personal growth. That's where I found iPad, coaching school. I started reading books. I started getting into different mindset and different mode. And 2020 was my breakout year. And the reason I call it my breakout year, now I didn't expect the COVID to happen, but I wanted to get to the point where all those fears, doubts, and things I thought I couldn't do or not good at, I was challenging myself. Challenge myself doing a podcast. Challenge myself as, can I write a blog post? Challenge myself, can I send an email? How many live videos can I do? Challenge myself is stepping out of mode, right? And to becoming what I want to be, right? I said again, stepping out of mode to becoming what I want to be. Now, 2020 is my step up year. So to me, my step up is in
You mean
order to reach,
2021?
yeah, 2021. Oh my goodness. I'm still stuck in 2020. Let's get out of here. 2021, I call my step up year. And I'm not going to wait 2021 to start that. I made a commitment this morning before I did my cardio at like 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. Step up starts now. That means those emails I get, I'm going to respond. That person that I want to reach out to, I'm going to make that phone call. How many videos I'm going to shoot, live videos on Facebook I'm going to shoot weekly. I'm going to step that up and do more of those. These are things that I'm lacking at that you constantly know subconsciously you want to get, I want to get better at this. I wish I was better at that. But now I'm going to make a commitment to getting better at those few things, right? I can't get better at 100 different things, but if I select 3 or 4 things that I know I can accomplish and check in with myself, like, well, you got the email, did you respond to? Oh, no. Have you reached out to the person? No, you haven't. So like I said, after our podcast, I'm going to reach out to my mom because I got to make a commitment to stepping up to showing how I feel. And that's why I call this my step up year is I'm gonna start doing the things that are really gonna set me up for my future. Failure or success is equal to the same. It's not all of a sudden you got success or all of a sudden you got failure. It really boils down to um, small nuggets. I call it. I got nuggets from a boss I had at Fry's. It's a small nuggets along the way. So small nuggets can lead to big nugget, which is failure, or small nuggets can lead to success. Equally are the same, but there's small steps along the way to lead to success. Like I mentioned earlier, we're gonna launch our own lifesashuffle.com website. So for you guys out there international, your customers in Japan, go right to our website. You can find some download. So if you don't have, let's say, Apple Podcasts, or you don't have Spotify, or you don't have all that stuff, why should you not be neglected not to have information, right? So website, you have it. You can listen to it right then and there, and that's
Hmm.
awesome. So stepping up, let's do it. What I started doing too is relinquishing ties, and what I mean by relinquishing ties is we're caught up with certain things that really have no meaning to us. For a period of time, I was caught up with kind of name brand clothes I had. I have a drawer full of cologne. I have like 30 colognes, okay? How many colognes can I wear? One. But I have 30 different colognes because I want to be that guy that was showing all I know about colognes, wine. I got freaking like 50, 60 bottles of wine, okay? How many wines can I drink? How many wines have I drunk? None. I never probably finished a bottle. So I'm really you all these attachments to things that don't get me forward. So if you're out there right now and you want to accomplish something, okay, what things in your life or even people that you're attached to that are not helping you? Because you only are one person. You only got one mind. You only got 24 hours a day. So how much time do you spend on things that are helping you? How many times you spend scrolling TikTok or scrolling Instagram or Facebook and not really looking? I mean, if you're scrolling Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn and you're getting the information you need, great. Most of the time, you're not. That's just the reality. We're scrolling pictures, we're liking this, looking at that, making some really goes all that excess BS so that way you can really get that freed up mind and get that freed up energy to accomplish what the hell you want to do. That's all I got to say
You,
on that.
you damn, you got a lot to say. I was listening to you and you said nuggets. I'm thinking, oh my God, chicken nuggets, Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets. Sounds
I
really good
love
right now. It's
those.
making me hungry. So you talked about commitment and you talk about like being on the right path. I was thinking on Monday, my kids brought up the Star of Bethlehem to me. And I didn't, I'm going to go a little religious here. I didn't, I learned something new. Well, it wasn't new, but it's been so long. And I was looking at them, these kids are teaching me something, right? And so Zach was, I think before they went to bed, Monday was that the 21st? Yes, it was. And he said, I wonder if the Star of Bethlehem will show up tonight. And I was like, what are you talking about? So those two had a conversation and it gave me a lesson on Star of Bethlehem. And I remember learning this years ago when I was younger. And I'm so glad that they know. And they kind of know the science behind all that and the story behind it. And for them to actually like even think about that and look outside to see if it will show up. And I like to, I'm the type of person that like to look up in the sky. I like to look at stars. I like to look at the moon. It's most especially if the moon is full. I like full moon. I like to see it. And if it's shut up. Yeah, watch out. When it's full moon, I feel like, I feel like being one of those badass women. Like I gotta be out there and just whatever. Anyways, I just like it. So, this the story behind the Star of Bethlehem is in it goes with the nativity, because we have this nativity set also, and what it is the star. That's the star that the three wise men in the story um, that inspired the three wise men to travel to Jerusalem.
Mm.
So that was the path that they follow that star to get to Jerusalem and find Jesus when he was born. I think they wanted to, yeah. And so they just followed the star. And so now the science on that is right now is that when Jupiter and Saturn meets, it becomes like a star, right?
Hmm.
And then I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, that's a star. You follow the path, right? What inspired you? I thought about myself. I have a star. I'm following my star. What am I inspired of? Doing what I'm doing right now. And you talk about being on the right path. And I believe that I'm on the right path too. I'm following a certain path. What I'm following is my heart.
Mm. What does it look like for you?
What do you mean?
You say follow your heart. What does it
Yeah,
look
I'm
like for you?
following my heart. So I'm inspired by. Uh, That's a good question. Whatever I'm doing, whatever comes up, just comes up naturally. It's not like I'm forcing myself to. I need to do this because I have to. But it's just coming out naturally for me. Like I want to do it, and when I do it, I enjoy doing it. Like the podcast. I'm motivated by it. It's not like, okay, because we have to do this and we set up a day and time to do it today, I'm going to have to wake up or get up and set up and do this. No, it just comes naturally for me. And even, doing the summit, the seminars, and just talking to people and working on anything life coaching wise. And I'm looking more to better myself into this. I'm doing a lot more research, right? To what else can I do to improve myself, because this is where I want to be and I want to improve myself more and find myself more, and I want to dig in deeper into my soul. Like all those was coming up to me a lot lately, and I've done researches, and so it's something that I feel deep down, and something tells me deep down there that this is where I'm at, this is what I want to do, and I have a certain vision, and I think I want to fulfill that vision and follow it. So it's like there's a path that I'm following. So I'm thinking, man, the Star of Jerusalem, it's like, it was very inspiring. And I kind of relate it to my own story and my life and myself.
So what you're trying to say, just so I can kind of recant or clarify, is that
Mhm.
your heart becomes overjoyed when you're doing what you love doing
Mhm.
and find your dharma, find your purpose,
Mhm.
and you have faith in what you want to become. So as you look forward to finding what you want, you're doing the research, you're putting in the work, you get the knowledge, you get the feedback, whatever it takes to get what you want long term.
Mhm.
Is
It's
that what you're saying?
it is exactly. And I like I could be preparing myself for the next year or so or for the rest of my life. But whatever it is that's happening, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the process. I'm enjoying the ride. And it makes me want to just keep going and do more.
Yeah. That's the key. When you're living in the moment now, like you kind of figure out what you want. And I figure you know what you want. Your heart skips a beat when you think about it. You wake up, look forward to it. Like today, you woke up early, look forward to the podcast. You wake up to do these things. Now things are more aligning into your life. Now you're doing the research on meditation we talked about before. You're
Mhm.
doing the research on a retreat. You're doing all this stuff. Like I'm doing the same thing. Like I picked up and Fleek told me about that book by Inkhart Tolle, oh, Awakening New Earth or Earth Awakening. I've got the title, doesn't matter. It's a great book. Okay. He also does author of Power of Now. Now I want to have a spiritual conscious awakening. So I got what the Ray on Monday, 29th, Monday or Tuesday, doesn't matter. I'm going to have a consultation with her because she's a spiritual awakening coach.
Mhm.
I feel this is where I want to be. I want it.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the research. I'm reading the books, right? I mean, it's there. So everything's that I need to get ready, because the funny thing about life, we expect God or faith, whatever you want to do, to give us a life full of a present, right? You expect God to give us a present, things to be wrapped a certain way, all that great stuff. But in reality, if what you know now, let's say 10 years, 15 years ago, Gloria, would you be ready to accept it? No, you weren't.
Nope. Nope.
So God has given us these little nuggets along the way to get us ready for what we want later down the road. Because now we're ready for something different. Now is the time when we want something different and we're to accept something different. We're putting in the work. No matter if the parachute doesn't open right away, we're going to do it and be freaking committed to the process.
hmm And I think I mentioned it. I mentioned this to you one time when you talked about learning more in spirituality, and I said you're opening your third eye.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never forget when I said this to Ray when she said, "Yeah." When I said my third eye had opened, and I will never forget when she said, "When it opens up, it's pretty dangerous. Dangerous in a good way because you can't stop."
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm really feeling that right now. Once I've opened my third eye, it's like I can't stop. I want to keep going. I want to find more and more and more, and I want to dig deeper. And I want to go
Ah,
further with it, you know?
so you're aligning with what you want. You're aligning. When you align it, things work out. You ever they make it easy for us audience out there. Most of us here are the same. Another dollar, another day, another hour, another penny. And how you like your job? I'm just here to collect the paycheck. If you're saying all that to you, you're not doing something you like doing.
No. And you know
Because
what? Oh, go ahead.
because when
Finish
you
up.
like doing something you like doing, you're not saying that. I didn't wake up this morning and say, "Oh man, podcast at 9 a.m. Oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to do it." No, I'm committed. Let's get it done.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. When I've, I've given a lot of this some thoughts lately because I had to stop for a minute. I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my god, what's happening? I can't stop." But
Hmm.
I didn't even realize that these are the things that, it's all lined up for me. Like I want to do this. There's a moment where I thought, is this weird? Are people going to look at me weird? Are my friends going to think I'm weird? Then I said, you know what? This is what I want to do. This is me now. So whether or not I people around me support me or not, I'm still going to do it because it's about me. I'm not trying to be selfish, but that sounds kind of selfish when I said it's about me. But it's not about them, it's about me. So
Hold
why
on, hold
why
on.
should I go ahead?
I was gonna say, wait a minute. If you're doing what you like and someone doesn't accept it, great. They don't have to accept what you don't. But they don't have to accept what they don't know you feel.
Right.
They
Yeah,
don't
it
have to
was
accept it.
no, they don't. And you know what? Yes, you're right. They don't. But I had that moment. I had a moment because I know that to some, this is all new for them because they know me as, somebody else, right? A different person. And if going through all these changes, what now I maybe, now that I found my dharma and I'm living it now might be weird for other people. And that's what I was saying. But I had that moment just for a minute. Then I was able to snap out of it because I realized, man, I'm either going to inspire somebody or I won't. They will either believe in me or they won't. But that's not going to stop me. So either you come along the ride with me and follow me or you don't. That's fine with me.
Because you're committed. And you know what? When you believe in what yourself and what you're doing, then if someone doesn't believe, that's cool because they have their own belief.
Right. Hmm.
So, with that being said, let's go to one of our guests. I think her name was Angelique. She was on our virtual seminar, and she's our avid podcast. So, how do you say her last name? Angelique Komaya,
Komiya or Komiya?
Komiya. So, Angelique
Japanese, yeah.
Komia,
Komiya or
one of
Komiya?
our Komia. Okay,
I
hopefully
think
it's
it's
right. Apologize, Angelique, if it's wrong. She said she really likes listening to our podcast. And one thing I never looked at, her comment was this: it feels like I'm meditating.
Yes. Oh my
She
God. Yeah.
and what that really meant for her was that, okay, I'm cooking, but I'm listening to podcasts in my headphones, or I may be at the gym or I'm taking a walk. Our voices are very meditating for us. So, Angelique, thank you for the encouragement. I hope it's working. If it is, keep it going. And she's all the way from Japan. So a lot of people are meditating too. So one thing for us out there, those that have Facebook, I don't even use Facebook has now, but you can find us under Life's a Shuffle Facebook group. Join. Our podcast will be there. You can hit the button, comment on it, or when I post on Spotify or any of those other websites out there, comment and I'll shout out your name on this podcast or any podcast we do. Please, if you have any questions, put them there because I'm ready to answer them and have a shout out. And maybe one day we'll do a special guest or we'll do a giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
Sky's the limit
Mm-hmm.
here. But
Yeah.
thank you for listening to another Freestyle Thursday. This is Ron Johnson, your life coach, motivational speaker, and mindful coach.
Yes, and don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, Life's a Shuffle podcast. This is our time to have discussions on any of the episodes. So I will, or we will be posting our episodes there as well for you to listen, and any comments or any feedback from you guys will be great. Thank you for all your support. And again, thank you for listening to another episode of Life's a Shuffle.